What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Tay, and it's so good to be back with you guys. Now, that being said, yes, I do know that it's been 5 months. I'm sorry. But I really think that life has truly been lifing. I feel like I'm not the only one. As we get towards the end of 2024, it seems like more and more people are really just experiencing a different level of life right now going into 2025. So that being said, let's dive right in. This video is just gonna be an update on everything that's been happening so far since I last saw you guys. And honestly, a lot has changed. First things first, I am now a fiance, which I am so excited about, and I've really just been planning my wedding. And with that being said, I also planned a move. So I have found my dress. We have not found our dream venue yet, but we are still working on it. And we are looking to get married literally fall next year. So things have been moving really, really fast. And that does mean that we have moved in together. So because of our background, we've actually decided to hold off on moving in together until marriage. But due to some unforeseen circumstances, we did end up moving in. So this is a brand new setup, although it looks exactly the same. But it's a new setup in our new apartment together. So we've upgraded from a 1-bedroom to a 2-2. It is the same community that I was living in before, which honestly was a blessing and a curse when it came to moving, because we were moving literally one building over, but it was just such a hassle. And honestly, I didn't know that I had so much stuff. You know, like when you move and you realize that you might be a hoarder? That was me. Yeah, that was me. So God bless him though, because he literally carried so much furniture on his back, and I could never. And it didn't help that I was not feeling my best that day either. So thank God for him, and thank God for blessing me with such a wonderful fiance. So we are now moved in. We moved in September. It is now December, and we are literally just still trying to get things together. Like, we haven't done our balcony. We haven't even finished our 2nd bedroom. We've literally just been settling in, and work has been so crazy. If you guys don't know, I do work in fitness. I am a fitness coach, but it has been so crazy. Once you get towards the end of the year, I feel like everyone wants to get a head start on the new year. So these last few months have been extremely busy. I've been work. And I still love work, but I like to ease back a little bit. Your girl likes relaxing. That's really what it is. So hopefully we will start to ease into more of a sustainable way of like the work-life balance as we start to head in the new year. And as we start to head in, I'm also gonna challenge myself, because when I was on YouTube 5 months ago, the goal was to be as consistent as possible on my YouTube journey. And I feel like I did not do that. Obviously, we're here 5 months later. So yeah, we did not do that. So I'm challenging myself, because I'm going to be turning 27 on January 11th. I am challenging myself to a 0 to 30 series, and I'm going to be posting consistently for 30 days starting on December 11th, which by the time you guys see this will be just under a week away. And I'm challenging myself to post one piece of content every single day on my TikTok. So if you are not on my TikTok, guys, please go ahead and follow me on TikTok. It is literally the same handle, Taybane. It is a weird little spelling, but it's my actual name. So make sure you follow me on my TikTok to follow along. And with that 0 to 30 series, it's not just going to be random content. I don't know if you guys remember my 2nd video, I believe, where it said fear of failure is literally holding you back. And I said in that video that it was literally a message to myself, because in my opinion, I have a very big perfectionism problem, and I want things to be perfect before I do it. And with starting my business and with branching out on my own and not being in the legal field anymore, it has been really, really tough to get out of that perfectionism picture. I think in legal, everything is so black and white. It's either it's done this way or it's not done correctly. And I kind of carried that over even into my fitness career, and it really did hinder me, especially as I started out as a fitness professional on my own. So I've been really using these past few months, not only to grow closer to my fiance, but also to grow closer to myself and to really just learn what it is that makes me confident in myself again. Because I think people fail to realize sometimes that when you make a major career shift, it's almost as if you don't know who you are anymore. Like, you're like, what is my personality now that I am not a legal assistant or a paralegal anymore? Now I'm a fitness coach. How does that fit into my lifestyle? And how does that fit into me as a person? Like, what does a fitness coach do every day? Now, mind you, these were things that I was already doing. But when you make that change and you're like in the thick of it, it feels as if you've never done it before. So when I made that video, I was really talking to myself. And if you've not watched it, I will link it down below or on the screen. But it was just such a good way for me to get out of my own head and to start really diving into my content. Now, before everything happened, I had a schedule. I was going to be extremely consistent, and I'm bringing that schedule back. So the 0 to 30 series will only be on my TikTok. Everywhere else, I will be posting consistently. YouTube is gonna be once a week on Fridays. So you guys will see this on a Friday. It's currently Wednesday. And on Instagram, it will be 2 to 3 times a week. So you guys will see me a lot more consistently now. And I definitely wanna get more into who I am and what I do. And honestly, I think it starts with my fear of failure. It has been extremely tough to get out of my own head, to put out content for you guys and put out good content for you guys. I think that my issue has been, I don't feel that the content is great, so I scrap it. And I'm hoping that this will really just give me that jump start to say, hey, even if the content isn't your version of perfect, because my version of perfect is honestly, it's a little extreme, guys. But even if it's not your version of perfect, you should be able to put out good content that feels authentic to yourself. So when I am trying to be this perfect person, I think that it also just really is inauthentic. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. And it's really, really tough to put yourself into that box and say, hey, this has to be perfect or else I'm not doing it. It's never gonna happen. So I'm actually really, really glad that I am putting my feet to the fire, because unfortunately, I am one of those people who will procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate until it's 11:58 and your college paper is due. That's me, and you're trying to scramble to put it together, and not only that, but it's not working. Turnitin is not working. So yeah, it's only when I'm feeling a little bit of stress that I really get into things, and I'm hoping that this will just jumpstart me, because 27 is such a great age, I feel. I mean, I'm excited for what 27 has to offer me, because I feel like 2024 I was just so extremely blessed, and things definitely did not turn out how I thought they were turning out. I mean, at the beginning of that year, I was single as a Pringle, and at the end, I am engaged and planning a wedding, and life really just comes at you fast. So with the start of 27, it's a new year, it's a new age, and your girl will be married at 27. I think that it's just a great idea for me to start December 11th. We started off one piece of content a day. I think that's not a lot to ask of myself. And yes, I know I'm a busy person, but I love being busy. So I think it'll work out pretty well. And the last day that I'll be posting will be on my birthday. And it'll just give me the confidence that I need to really just get into being more consistent on YouTube, especially. I think when you start your YouTube channel, it seems so daunting. Like Instagram and TikTok, I think because they're like short form content, they seem very doable. But YouTube, it's like, wow, I really have so much to get done and I have to edit this really, really long video. But it's really not as bad as I think that I made it seem. So I'm hoping that I will just get a chance to really dive in a little bit deeper into all the things that I want to show you guys and all the things I want to not only learn from you guys, but also be able to teach you guys about fitness, about life, and especially about just being more confident. Because one thing about me is I've always been a confident girl. It wasn't until I made this career switch that I started to feel a little bit insecure about what I was doing with my life. And I also think it probably had something to do with making the career change at 25, something that you've already been doing for like 6 years, and saying, you know what, this does not actually fulfill me and I need to make a change. I think that I did a great job of being able to pivot. And one of the biggest strengths, in my opinion, is being able to pivot when life throws something at you that is not necessarily a great thing, being able to turn it into something that could work for you and something that works maybe even better than what you were doing before. So I've never been happier as a fitness coach, and I really, really loved being a legal assistant and paralegal. It was just the stress levels were extremely high, guys. They were so high. So high. So I think just being able to really get myself into this mode and being able to just see that I have been able to make a big transition, and not only make a big transition, but do it well. And I've started seeing a lot more confidence in myself in these past 5 months. I mean, honestly, I think that every year of life is another year that you can grow and you can change. And I think one thing that they don't tell you about getting engaged or being in a relationship at all is that it really demands for you to look inside of yourself and say, hey, what are some things that I can do better so that we can be better? And especially coming at a relationship from a Christian standpoint, it's not two people in the relationship. It is two people who become one together. So his strengths are now my strengths. His weaknesses are now my weaknesses. My strengths are now his strengths, and my weaknesses are now his weaknesses. So how can we come together and help each other in those weaker times? And how can I build myself up to become a little bit better each day so that when we do come together, we're unstoppable? And honestly, shout out to my fiance for helping me just get through all the changes that's been happening. And not only that, but like being such a pillar of strength throughout it. So if you guys want a story time on how we met and our relationship, let me know in the comments below. But he's just such an amazing person, and I'm just so incredibly blessed and so lucky to have him in my life. And honestly, I can say that I was starting out on this journey when we were not together, and being able to get back into this journey while we're together, it's a very different feel. I really feel the confidence that I didn't have 5 months ago. And it's crazy how things change so fast. But again, life she be lifing, and she's really good at doing it. So I'm just putting my feet to the fire at this point and saying, yes, we've been in a nice little bubble, a nice little honeymoony bubble of just saying, hey, this is great. I love where I am right now. But everyone knows that growth does not happen where you're comfortable. So getting out of my comfort zone, being able to push myself to become even greater, and again, is just a part of what I have been really focusing on for these past 5 months. And no one can change you but you. I think that's just something that's so important to remember, is that people can tell you whatever they want. Like, people can tell you whatever they want. They can be like, oh, I think you should change this about yourself. But honestly, if you don't see that you should change that thing about yourself, you're not gonna do it. And neither should you, actually, because until it's revealed to you that something should be changed, honestly, I feel like you should operate with a self-confidence of knowing that you are doing a good thing. Unless you're not on the right path, guys, that's a different story. But if you are doing something that genuinely brings you joy and someone tells you, hey, you should be doing something else, I mean, why would you listen to them? So it just really depends, but you should be able to look within yourself and say, hey, I think that I can get better at this. And that's really all about being self-aware. And it's not easy to be self-aware, honestly. It's much easier to just be like, hey, I'm going to do what I've always done. I'm gonna do what works for me. And I think that when it comes to that, people do it all the time. And a lot of the times, we stay stagnant because we do that. So I am not gonna let fear of failure hold me back anymore. And oh, what is that? What does that mean? I'm not with Metro anymore.
With Metro anymore. I am with ATMT.
Me right now. That's me right now. I'm not with fear anymore. I am with confidence, okay? So with that being said, it's only right that I really just continue to push myself to grow even further. So hopefully you guys will catch me on TikTok with my 0 to 30 series starting on Wednesday, December 11th. And the content is not gonna be just yapping, because you guys know I can yap. I can yap all day. I can yap from morning to noon and into the next day. But it's not gonna be just yapping, guys. I am going to be revealing a lot more of my life and what's been happening in the past 5 months. But I also want to bring you guys education as far as what we can do to help make sure that you guys are hitting your goals, and especially just like hit the ground running. You don't have to wait till January 1st to start making changes in your life. It's actually, today is a great time to start. I tell people that all the time. Today is the best time to start. So you don't have to wait till January 1st. So I want to be educational, but I also want to make sure that we're having a good time, because one thing about me is I'm gonna laugh. I just think that life is really just so worth living that we should all just be not taking ourselves too seriously, which I do way too much, and also just be really grateful and happy every single day. And if I can help you guys get one step closer to that, I definitely want to try. And I know it's not easy, because I mean, I was just there, but we can do it together. So join me on my TikTok. Again, it's at Taybanae. 0 to 30 series starts December 11th, and it's gonna go all the way till January 11th, which is my 27th birthday. Woo! So I am just so excited to see what comes out of this series, and I'm so excited to see my growth throughout that 30 days as well, because I just have a feeling that the growth is gonna be insane. So, and oh, if you guys are not following me on Instagram either, it's Taybanae. So go follow me, and I will see you in the next video, which will literally be next week, because I'm back to consistency, baby. Yes. All right, guys, see you later. It's been such a great time talking and chatting and updating you on my life, and we'll catch up even more on my TikTok. All right, bye.